Amazon fulfillment center to open in Spokane in mid-2020? What happened in November 2019? Well, let's take a look at the article and see what they're saying. So what they're saying here, and this is courtesy of the Columbian. So Amazon to open fulfillment center in Spokane by mid-2020. An Amazon fulfillment center under construction near the Spokane airport is expected to open by the middle of next year. The company says hiring will begin 2 months prior to completion of the $181 million building that covers 2.5 million square feet. The company said it will hire more than 1,500 workers at a wage of at least $15 per hour to pack and ship items. The workforce will grow to 3,000 during the holiday shopping period. The spokesman review reports the company has more than 100 fulfillment centers nationwide. And I'm going to pull up another source article here while we talk about this. So, Amazon, I don't know what the CEO was thinking because, well, saying is one thing, doing is another, right? Well, let's find out what Amazon and his news article from KHQ says. Back over this. I do not want to sign up. Thank you very much. So there's a video on KHQ if you want to see it. There it is right there. So we already read this paragraph. On Monday, September 9th, amidst Amazon's push for 30,000 new employees, an Amazon spokeswoman confirmed to KHQ that the fulfillment center is now expected to open in mid-2020. Over at Greater Spokane Incorporated, Chief Executive Officer Todd Milkey has said the decision by Amazon shouldn't hurt the Spokane economy. We have had an aggressive economic growth in this region to the point that companies are concerned about being able to find the talent that they need. If anything, this allows us a little bit longer time frame in order to meet those needs. Hiring has not yet begun under the center. The company has said that they usually begin to staff up a couple months before the center actually opens. If you're looking for a job there, make sure just starting in the spring and summer, you check here. So we're going to click here, see what they're saying. Amazon delivers jobs. Oh boy. Well, let's talk about this a moment while I prepare behind the scenes where you won't be able to see. So this is kind of a weird deal here, but the dealio is they expect to be open in mid-2020. Well, they expected to be open in November of 2019. Okay. Back in January, I said that is not going to happen. I still say that is not going to happen. And you're about to find out why I say that. Right? We're going to come take a look. All right, so now that the next scene is prepared, let's talk about this because this is very, very important. All right. Speculation says it's in a prime location, right? Well, let's take a peek. So, there's the Amazon fulfillment address, and the Amazon fulfillment center's address location over on West Geiger Boulevard. And that's where the new Amazon building has permits pulled. Well, in theory, it sounds like a great idea because you're right next to the airport, right? Well, think about this for a minute, everybody. Okay, you all see where my cursor is down over here near this, where West Geiger Boulevard comes over to the on-ramp and off-ramp of the freeway heading eastbound and westbound. Well, there really needs to be some significant changes to be able to support that type of traffic. Furthermore, their other on-ramp area is over here. It seems better set up for it to go into Spokane. But headed towards the West Plains, it's probably not going to be the best of ideas. Yes, I understand there's already significant amount of trucks coming through, but a multi-million square foot warehouse probably going to generate immense amounts of vehicular traffic. Whilst I'm going to speculate slightly here. I'm going to take a sketchy guess here and say that, well, in lack of better explanation, I'd hazard a guess to say that they are going to use the airport as a place to send off freight via air. Well, that's a problem. Let's figure out what about that is the issue. And I got to get in the right position here on this next scene. This is clearly an old picture. Clearly an old picture. Switch over. Okay. That's an old picture. I can tell you that factually, but the infrastructure itself is still one and the same. The facility owns 80 acres. Amazon themselves own the 80 acres in this spot that you're seeing. And the infrastructure overall looks the same, except now there's a big giant building off over in here with a big giant parking lot. It's a big giant steel shell with the interior lit up. That is it. They're so far behind the 8-ball. They don't even know they're behind the 8-ball. That is extremely bad. And furthermore, so this right here is a classic example of somebody is definitely not doing their actual driving research, because theoretically it would be sufficient right here to get the traffic into right here, right? Well, I'm going to show you how theory is not always, how some things really, truth be told, do not translate into reality. Okay, you see, this is all one lane coming right off of a 2-lane near this section of I-90 at exit 272. So I fully understand that we're getting deep into logistics here, and that's the purpose here, because in theory this would be sufficient. Well, with increased traffic to the nearby trucking stop right over here, and this was taken in broad daylight. You don't even want to know what this looks like when it's at nighttime. It is very difficult to find parking at all here. I can tell you that factually. That, and I believe they say map data at 2019. No, it is not. It is definitely not 2019 accurate for right here. It's not. Okay. And to prove that it is not accurate, there should be, you should be able, from the map, just seeing a 2.5 million square foot facility at this zoom level. If you follow my cursor, I'm going to show you right here. See where my cursor is? I'm going to bring it down and to the bottom and right of the screen. Right here is your scale of 50 feet. A multi-million square foot facility would be visible on this map. And I can tell you right now that I'm gonna switch over here for a moment. Somebody was kind enough to lend a helping hand from their vehicle. That's the facility, right? Furthermore, look at all of these loading docks. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 if I'm not mistaken. We'll say 14 just for the sake of assisting me in this with easier to calculate numbers. In fact, we'll even round it up to 15 because over here you've got a whole nother bunch. How is that a problem? 30 loading docks and on just this side alone. And here's why that's a problem. There's not enough ability to get the trailers in and out when they're being loaded. You know, I would rough estimate for the 53-foot trailers Amazon's going to be using that there's going to be a trailer being loaded round the clock. You know, there's going to be trailers being loaded round the clock, just like with all the other locations. Except I know how long it takes to load a truck. So, I do have a cousin who is a truck driver, and I'm not going to name it. I'm not going to name names or anything, but I will tell you that my cousin informed me that to load a 53-foot trailer. Now, my cousin pulls a 40 and a 20. He pulls doubles. So that gives availability for a few more for a few more stacks of pallets on the flatbeds that he pulls. Well, problem is in a dry van, it takes significantly longer to fill them because you cannot have more than one forklift loading the truck at all. Okay, if it were a flatbed, it'd be a hugely, vastly different story. Now, also, if it were a side curtain style semi, it'd be a whole different ballgame. You could load that truck in half the time. But you're going to probably be having upwards in the neighborhood of 28 trucks being, 28 loading docks. You'll have roughly 1 to 2 having a trailer switched out at any given time. So the logistics really come down to if they're spitting out a trailer load, if they're taking in a trailer load and putting out a trailer load every 5 minutes, which is roughly how it's going to equate. Okay, with a truck coming in and a truck coming out every 5 minutes. It's really going to be a bad situation. It really, really is going to be a bad situation with the current infrastructure. We haven't even begun to talk about the power supply. That's a totally different ballgame. That's a totally different video. We are literally, for all intents and purposes of this video, discussing the importance of all the facts here. you're going to increase the amount of traffic in this area exponentially. You're literally going to need a very large amount of trucks coming in and out of the facility. They're saying they're going to be having local delivery trucks and blah, 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 blah. We all have heard that stuff before, right? Now, I'm not saying it's fictional here. I'm just saying this particular image up here that we were just viewing a moment ago. Here, I'll pull it up. There it is. Let's find out here how old the picture is. Here that was published in March 2019. I could see it looking like that on the inside, but shoot. This was published in was put up May of 2019. And I can tell you factually, there is not much more progress than what you see here. Because you see I'm looking through here. There is a there's a grid back over behind you here from this picture. There's a big step down transformer, and I'm really going to launch further forward. There you got your power supply going to the grid. That's coming from your step down station. And there you have one of the local shops, West Plains Building Materials. And if anyone's wondering, it's a really nice place there. They're really nice, friendly people. In the event that you're looking for a nice place to get some building materials and support a great local business that is truly a good local business, excellent, friendly customer service, that be the place. And here I am just attempting to find the step down transformers. So another mom and pop shop in this area. But you are literally for $2.5 million worth of fulfillment center, over 2.5 million square feet worth of it, you're going to need huge amounts more infrastructure than this. It is at this point in time, the fulfillment center opening in 2020 at all is a fantasy. It's a pipe dream. Okay, that's all it is, because of some simple facts. And I fully understand this is a 20, a solid half-hour video already, and we can clearly see a very huge lack of structure. So we're just gonna pop it out like that. All right. So I can really just kind of summarize it to, I'm just going to keep it really simple here. All it is at this point in time is a pipe dream, if they are even going to be able to open at all at this point in time, because there's no infrastructure, and there's not enough infrastructure to support it. In theory, there is, but we all know that old tale about, in theory, a mouse could balance an elephant on the edge of a cliff. We all know in actuality that doesn't work. We all know it. We all know it really doesn't work. How do I know there's not enough power supply? Oh my God. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's been like that for the last 10 years. Ask me how I know. There's a big reason why I say you really got to do your research, people. Yeah, here, let me zoom out a little here. That is not enough space for all the step-down transforming needed. Furthermore, here, let's zoom in on it one more time. Let's come down a little. Let's come down to earth, shall we? That's your, that is literally, that's literally, that's the power supply. That right there is where the joke should end. But, there are numerous places throughout this video where the joke should have ended. Okay? This is all factual shit here. It still looks like it today. I venture out that way quite frequently. I do not live very near this area, but I can say that, well, I kind of like to go on road trips, if you will. So, Yeah. And this is the best part. This is the best part. Look at this. Look at that. They're thinking dig a trench. That is now, that is where the joke should end. But it does not end there. They're trying to dig a hole to find the bedrock so they can evaluate, are they going to put it above ground or below ground? They hit bedrock right there. Don't ask how I know. You don't want to find out. Broken ripper shanks, bent ripper shanks. We're not talking Chinese made steel here as to what I've bent ripping up soil in this area before. We're talking, okay, this is my yardstick, okay? Yardstick, right? We were bending steel shanks that were 3/4 of an inch wide by about 2 inches deep. Well, it was probably closer to 2.5 inches, but we were bending steel that was that thick, okay, between my two fingertips, thick. Any questions? Let me know down in that dirt pit. That is where there are numerous places where the joke needs to end, but isn't. We'll catch you all later. Peace.